Yes, the IS200 is now registered. It's on club permit plates, which means I can drive this for 90 days of the year. It's actually very cheap. It cost me $300 and something. I got the slimline plates, so they're a little bit better than the big ass bulky ones, but I think it looks good. I like the look of the brown plate. Can't complain really. I think it looks really sick, especially on the car. Now it doesn't really fit all that well, the slimline plate. I had to use a bracket to get it to fit, but yes, I'm keeping the IS200. So everyone's been asking, you know, what am I going to do? Am I going to sell it? Am I going to make a profit? And what am I going to buy next? I think I've put so much time and love. I like fucking around with the car. I like doing mods to it, and there's a whole lot more stuff to do. So without further ado, let's get into some of the stuff we're doing today. All right. You might be wondering, why do I have this exhaust? What is this exhaust for? Well, it's the muffler off the car. I did drive it all the way from work to home without a muffler, and this is what it sounded like. Obviously, it sounds like shit, right? We don't want to have that, and we don't want to cop an EPA. We don't want to, you know, attract unwanted attention. But honestly, I just did it for fun. It sounded ridiculous, and it's just over the top. I'll show you right now what it sounds like. That's all I'm giving it, because that's no good, mate. So I think the plan for the exhaust is probably get one of those 2.5 high flow mufflers, cut it and weld it on, and use the old exhaust hanger brackets. But for now, I'll probably just put it back on, to be honest. It was fun, but definitely not keeping it like that. That is just insane. Did it go faster? I don't really know, placebo, but it sounded like a boat, man, on the road. It was horrible. All right, so I'm gonna chuck the exhaust back in. I may have drilled a few holes, but it doesn't matter, because I'm probably gonna get rid of this muffler and put on my own sort of 2.5 inch one anyway. So I've drilled a few holes in it. All right, we're gonna see how it sounds. It might be hard, so you can see there. That's where it connects onto. Much easier on a hoist. All right, that's in. Oh, that's fucking impossible. Okay. Holy fuck, fuck this shit, bro. Oh, fuck, man. What the fuck do they want now? That feels so weird, dude. Please bring another thing. We're so smart. Shut up. So, those two bolts. That's actually got some yellow thing on it, but those were shit to get back in. Looks pretty good under here. Stock exhaust is back on. That will be coming off in a couple of videos time, but let's give it a start. sound that good. Doesn't sound good. Sounds so drony. Let me know in the comments what I can do to fix that. Obviously, I'm going to get a 2.5 inch high flow exhaust muffler, and I welded all and everything. But factory, I just drilled 2 holes in the muffler because I'm going to throw it out anyway. But at least it's not like a boat. Before it was an absolute boat. So yeah. I can fit pretty much my entire hand in here. We kind of want to go to like this high. So we want to drop it about 1 inch or about 1.5 inches. That's how much we want to drop it. Because right now 4 fingers is a bit too much. I can fit my whole hand in there. So I reckon 2 fingers would be really good. Front's probably not 2 fingers, maybe 2 fingers again. But yeah, I can fit nearly 4. So I can fit 3.5 fingers in there. So we kind of want to go 2 on the front, 2 on the back. Make sure it's even. So as far as the engine bay modifications go, I'll be doing a whole video on the cold air intake sort of setup that I want to run. Essentially all of this is going to go, and then we're going to do a 90-degree silicon straight 45 and then down into here. And then down in this section here, I'll be doing a shield and then hopefully funneling that from the front of the grill. There is a lot of space for air to get through from this side, like out the front of the grill. So I'll be doing that. I'll be doing the throttle body mod, and I'm also looking into the ACIS delete. Now, let me know if you've had any experience with the ACIS delete. I've heard different things for low end torque or high end torque, not sure. So that's sort of the plan for the next few videos of the playlist. There is something else as well. So this is an oil catch can. Now I'm pretty sure this was running in a diesel beforehand, but I don't see why we can't use it. Now I've fully taken it all apart. It's a baffled one, it doesn't have a filter in it. So I don't know all that much about these on petrol engines, but basically we're gonna put this in, and I've got a bunch of like factory ones as well, hoses. So it comes with a sort of bracket. For the placement of this, I am thinking somewhere here. Now I can rotate all of this way because I've got the cold air that's going to be coming in this section. I don't really have all that much room to actually put this anywhere else apart from really close to the exhaust manifold. Now I can rotate these, so that's not a problem, but it might go like sort of there somewhere. That way I can get the drain at the bottom. I can also shorten the drain at the bottom, but yeah, there's also a factory hole there as well. So it's probably gonna go right there. So yeah, stay tuned. In a couple of videos, we'll be doing the throttle body mod, the coilovers, the cold air intake install, and also we'll be putting on a 2.5 high flow muffler. Hopefully it'll sound a lot better than what you just heard. And then yeah, we'll also be doing a catch can install. So stick around for those videos, hit the like, comment down below if you've had any experience with the ACIS systems in these. Basically, as far as my knowledge is, which isn't all that much on these, but the ACIS system works where in certain rev ranges it opens the long and the short runners of the intake manifold, and then if you delete it, you'll have pretty much only short or only long runners. So in theory, you'd get more torque at certain rev ranges. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I get an experience with it. I think it's 4 vacuum lines. You block them all off, leave the sensor in, and then you do kind of get a performance increase. With these, I don't really care about top end sort of speed. All I really care about is off the line sort of speed, because if I do go down the track of drifting and all that kind of stuff, you kind of just want that sort of mid-range second and third gear, which is where the most of the torque is anyways. So that's an idea for me and for you guys to figure out. So another thing that I've ordered is a VVTi solenoid, non-genuine, and also a VVTi genuine filter, because this is running no filter on the VVTi. Now you have basically the VVTi and you have the filter section. I took out that bolt because I thought maybe it's dirty, pulled it out, and basically it doesn't exist. That's great. So probably sludge and oil has gotten into the VVTi solenoid, and that's why I'm getting active codes of VVTi and I'm not, the car's not operating VVTi. That's probably why it's running rich and why it might be a bit down on performance. Even though I don't really know what to compare this to, I think that's the problem. So, all right, if you want to see me check out all the fuel trims on this car and find out why it's running rich, click right here. Click right here to see the next video.